Are you there, God? It's me, Margaret.
I will say I saw this movie instead of Guardians last night. So
it is based on the Judy Blume book, which was when I was in school. The Judy Blume book, Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret, was all the rage. Girls read this book and it was not a book for boys. I was reading Henry Huggins books or Danny Dunn or Tom Swift. No one knows those books. Or the Hardy Boys. I would read the Hardy Boys. And then there was Nancy Drew. I never read the Nancy Drew books because those books were for girls. I would read the boys' books. So Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret. I never read as a kid. I was well familiar with the author. Judy Blume wrote this novel. It is set in the 70s. It's about a young girl who is on the cusp of becoming a woman. She moves from the city out to more the suburbs of New Jersey, makes a whole new group of friends, and it's her trying to traverse school. She's in elementary school, but she's at that time of life where she's about to get her first period. So that's of concern to all of her newfound female friends. They're all talking about boys. They're going to have this club. They're all going to wear training bras. So they start this secret club, and it's all of their adventures of these young women. It's played very innocently. And it's also about, Margaret has these conversations with God, yet her family is divided. On her mother's side of the family, they're Christian, and they're not particularly tolerant of the Jewish side of the family, which is her father's side. They have allowed Margaret to, they're not going to push any particular religion on her. So it's also a bit refreshing to see a film that actually even acknowledges religion in people's lives as a thing. I really enjoyed this film, surprised how much I enjoyed it. I love that I grew up during this era. Okay. I was maybe a little too young. But a lot of it was very familiar in terms of going over to people's houses, playing dumb party games, being just kind of timid and awkward about things. We didn't have the internet, so it's a much more innocent time, or cell phones or any of that stuff. If you went to do something with someone, you would literally just go to their house and yell their name to see if they could come outside to play. That's what we did. We didn't even use phones. We just went over to the neighbor's house where their kids down the street. I'm just going to go see if they want to come out and play a game of tag, or maybe we'll climb trees, or, we'll take crab apples. We would take crab apples and throw them at each other. Or, we get together and hey, we're going to walk to the corner drugstore and we're going to get a popsicle for 20 cents. And it really portrayed that era accurately. Also, the sort of mystery of adults. I do like the actors in this that kind of it's all from the perspective of Margaret, and kind of in her head about speaking to God, and her struggling with, her parents are not going to force any religion on her, and she kind of has two options that are represented by her grandparents. I really love this movie. I think a lot of it has to do with the lead actress, whose name escapes me. She's very charming.
Abby Ryder-Fortson, who is the original Cassie from Ant-Man.
Yeah, she was really good. And it's just a very innocent film. It's not like push. There's not anything that's overtly. This is what it's like to grow up. Your beginnings of puberty, and you're feeling awkward. You're having feelings about the opposite sex. These things are all normal. And if we could use a movie like this more than any other time, it's now. Growing up is awkward, weird, and normal. And your acceptance of your body and yourself might be a message we need now more than ever. because growing up is weird. There's a really interesting shot. I mean, I'm sort of like going through flourishes with this film. There's a really interesting shot where Margaret looks at a boy who like has his shirt off, and he like has underarm hair. It's not like a big. It's got like just a little bit of underarm hair, and she notices the boy has underarm hair. She notices all these details about other girls. She's very awkward. She is great. That actress who played Cassie in the original Cassie and Ant-Man, fantastic. All from her point of view. It's not super, there's no sort of woke agenda. It's slice of life, coming of age in a more innocent time. And even the parent roles are so fun. I love the whole thing with the parents and how like all their little things, like they don't have a couch in their living room. They try to figure out what couch. So he puts lawn furniture in the living room. It's like, this is perfect. This is fine. Like, it just like, when you would have barbecues and you would sit around and eat dinner as a family together and not look at your phone. I love this film. Can't recommend it enough. I would recommend taking kids to see this film. No, seriously, I would recommend. I would recommend taking kids. Now, not like 5-year-old. It's not like a film for kids, but like 10, 11 years old. These are things they're about to experience, and
I have something to say about that.
Please. So I really enjoyed this movie. It's a family movie, not for like a 5-year-old, but like older kids, and I really enjoyed it. And now I never read the book, but I will say this: I was aware of the book because when I was in elementary school, every girl was like, "Have you read Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret?" A girl has a period in the movie. And so loved it, recommend it. Alan, what did you think of Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret?
Yeah, I'll just start. I agree with you in terms of the quality of the film, the quality of the storytelling, just the story itself, excellent. It's worth doing. I will say, I went to see it last night. It was going to be my alternative to Guardian since I'd seen it already, and in a way, I was begging my daughter to come see it with me. She said no, and thank God she didn't come, because for me to sit next to my teenage daughter to watch a movie about periods, it's not something a dad should have been subjected to, and thankfully I wasn't. I will say at the end of the movie, let's just say that this moment in my child's life was basically I was alienated from that, and it was something between my daughter and my wife, and I had, they won't talk about it, they won't bring it. I feel like I was robbed of a moment to bond with my daughter during that time, and I feel like like something has been taken away from the parenting experience after seeing this movie, and I feel legit robbed and gypped out of this moment of my child's life. So but saying that,
well, can I interject? Can I interject for a second? I don't feel robbed at all. For this is a question only for the women in the chat. I know there are not many of you. I don't think that any young woman goes to their dad when they're having a problem downstairs. That never happens. It is a mom thing. In the movie, the daughter, she has conversations with her mother about these things, which is appropriate. And I think that that's how, like, as a dad, I didn't feel robbed that like my daughter didn't share certain things with me. She shared those things with her mother. I feel that is perfectly normal and fine. Women in the chat, please confirm. I don't feel robbed at all.
In this family of mine, there's only one time in which I am asked to leave the room, and it's during these conversations. And thankfully, there's a movie out there that helps walk me through what happened.
Any good dad would just leave the room.
Yeah, but I'm the guy that has to buy this stuff. That's what I'm saying.
You know what? I'm cool with buying the stuff. I'll do whatever. But, conversations are probably better had with another person who has also been through that experience. As someone who's never been through that experience, I'm not sure how helpful I can be. But if needed, I will step up to the task. I will be the good dad. I'll
Well,
step up if
she's
needed.
certainly not
But
gonna learn this stuff in school anymore. That's for sure.
I just think that a young girl would be more comfortable having those conversations with her mother, and that is
Yeah,
in the film.
I'm her dad. I'm her dad. That's all I'm saying.
Well, there you go. Well, Alan, would you recommend Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret?
I would actually. Okay, so I would recommend it in terms of the quality of the film, the quality of the acting, the script, the direction, everything. It's a movie not meant for me. It's a movie absolutely not meant for me,
Right.
And that's okay, and that's fine. And I like you have heard of Judy Blume, especially in my youth. But I would have never read a Judy Blume novel. I never have.
Neither have I. Neither have I. I read a lot of, like, I don't know, boys' adventure books. I did read a lot of Roald Dahl. Loved Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. So
yeah. But again, those are written for
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, I grew up in a family essentially of men, with my mom being the lone woman. So,
well,
that's kind of it's context,